Good morning and welcome back to George Washington News. There's only 2 weeks until finals are done and winter break begins.
A lot has been happening this month. We'll be looking back at the longest government shutdown in history, as well as the ongoing conflict in Sudan.
We will also cover the MFA financial deal for GW Medicine and the status of SNAP benefits after the shutdown. Our lifestyle correspondents, Vivian and Matt, will talk about what to do over the holidays here in D.C.
Finally, tune in to hear our weather correspondent, Andrew Rudney, tell us about the oncoming cold front that will soon hit D.C. We've got a lot to talk about, so let's get right into it.
Welcome back to the show. I'm Avanti Patworthan.
And I'm Brady Wilson. 2 members of the West Virginia National Guard were shot last Wednesday at 17th and I Streets Northwest by Farragut Square, just 2 blocks from the White House, in what prosecutors described as a targeted ambush-style attack. 20-year-old specialist Sarah Beckstrom succumbed to her injuries a day later. As of the evening of December 3rd, 24-year-old Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf remains hospitalized, showing signs of improvement. The suspect, 29-year-old Afghan national Ramanullah Lakanwal, who was subsequently shot by a National Guard supervisor, was taken into custody at the scene. He was formally charged this week with murder, assault with the intent to kill, and intentional possession of a firearm.
SNAP is back after the historic government shutdown, but new work requirements, data demands, and immigration restrictions are putting millions of families at risk of losing their food benefits. Julian Schnittker has the story.
The Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP, is back in the wake of a historic government shutdown. However, millions of families who rely on SNAP are still at risk of losing access to their benefits altogether. Here's what you should know.
The bill is passed.
Under the Big Beautiful Bill, new 80-hour-per-month work requirements for individuals up to 64 years old will already result in 2.4 million Americans losing access to benefits in the next 10 years. That's a report from the Congressional Budget Office. Additionally, according to Reuters, the U.S. Department of Agriculture has announced that it will begin withholding administrative funding from states that refuse to submit detailed data on SNAP recipients.
We have so much rampant fraud.
This includes names, social security numbers, and immigration status. As the federal government is the only source of funding for the day-to-day operations of SNAP, some states are saying that their ability to run the program will be compromised if funding is withheld. At the same time, the USDA has issued new guidance on eligibility for immigrants. Under new rules, many legal immigrants, including asylum seekers, refugees, and others admitted under humanitarian programs, are now excluded from SNAP, even if they were previously eligible. More than 20 states and the District of Columbia have filed lawsuits arguing that the changes are illegal or misinterpret federal law, arguing that many immigrants should still qualify once they become permanent residents. SNAP remains America's largest food aid program, serving roughly 42 million people. But with funding under pressure, eligibility narrowed, and legal battles underway, many households are unsure if they'll continue to receive help.
Thanks, Julian. Sabrina Carpenter condemned the White House's use of her song in a video depicting ICE deportations. According to Politico, the Espresso singer responded to a video that the White House posted on X. The video features her hit song Juno and shows ICE agents detaining individuals. Carpenter said, quote, "This video is evil and disgusting. Do not ever involve me or my music to benefit your inhumane agenda," end quote. In response, the White House said in a statement that they would not apologize for deporting undocumented individuals. Carpenter joins a growing list of artists who have told the president to stop using their art.
After a record-breaking shutdown, the federal government reopened on November 12th. Although it's been back in operation for 3 weeks, many services are still slowly recovering and are estimated to take several more months to return to full capacity. For more on the story, here's Caroline Matthews.
The government shutdown finally ended on November 12th after 43 days, becoming the longest U.S. government shutdown in history. After an intense gridlock between the Democrats and Republicans over health insurance provisions, 7 Senate Democrats and 1 independent joined the Republicans, ensuring the 60 votes necessary to pass the spending bill in the Senate to end the shutdown. Senators Tim Kaine of Virginia, Catherine Cortez Masto of Nevada, Jackie Rosen of Nevada, Dick Durbin of Illinois, John Fetterman of Pennsylvania, Maggie Hassan of New Hampshire, Jean Shaheen of New Hampshire, and Angus King of Maine were the 8 who jumped ship and joined the Republican caucus for the spending vote. The shutdown, which began on October 1st, was caused by the repeated blockade of a temporary funding bill that had passed the House but had failed to clear the Senate. Democrats refused to vote to pass the spending bill until Republicans would agree to the extension of expiring tax credits to ensure that health insurance premiums wouldn't rise come January 2026, among other demands. Republicans refused to include the ACA tax credit provisions and claimed that they would vote on the issue after reopening the government. According to the Congressional Budget Office, the government shutdown resulted in an economic loss of about $11 billion. About 1.4 million federal employees were furloughed and didn't receive paychecks for 6 weeks, resulting in financial and emotional stress. Travel was affected, with many flights delayed and canceled. Funding was cut from government assistance programs, with a major one being the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, with thousands losing benefits that they rely on. The appropriations legislation passed by the Senate and signed by President Trump on November 12th guaranteed back pay for federal employees and reversed the furloughs, but did not include the Democrats' provision of health care tax credits. Although the government has now been open for a couple weeks, it's still in the process of restarting programs. The Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program, or LIHEAP, that provides subsidies for energy costs to low-income households will not be available for a couple more weeks, and Head Start, a childhood education program, will take more time to fully restart as well. As employees return to work and airlines bring their operations to full capacity, full recovery from the shutdown is still estimated to take a few more months. I'm Caroline Matthews for GWN.
Thanks, Caroline. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has announced that Ukrainian officials are preparing to meet with U.S. negotiators over ending the Russia-Ukrainian war. The announcement comes after American negotiators prepare to return from Moscow from another round of failed negotiations over the war. While many European partners urge Ukraine to join NATO for future protections against Russia, Zelensky believes an agreement will be on the table, stating in a video posted on X that, quote, "Right now the world clearly feels that there is a real opportunity to end the war," end quote.
On December 2nd, the Trump administration announced that the United States will pause all immigration applications filed by immigrants from 19 countries. According to Reuters, these countries were already subject to a partial travel ban in June, but are now prohibited from pursuing green cards or filing for U.S. citizenship. The ban comes at a time of Trump's inflammatory and insulting rhetoric surrounding Somali immigrants.
The Yale School of Public Health released satellite images last month showing the visible bloodshed from the civil war in Sudan taking place between two paramilitary groups. Grace Ryu has the story.
Sudan entered into a civil war in April of 2023 between the official government, the Sudan Armed Forces, SAF, and a paramilitary group, the Rapid Support Forces, RSF. The war began from tensions that arose in 2019 after the ousting of President Omar al-Bashir and his near three-decade rule. General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, who is effectively the president of Sudan, and his deputy RSF leader, General Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo, both wanted to retain their positions of power. Shooting began on April 15, 2023, when members of the RSF army were redeployed across the country, a move the paramilitary group saw as a threat. Operation Broken Silence notes that the majority of the Sudanese people want neither group in power and instead would support a democratic government. Earlier this month, satellite images released by the Humanitarian Research Lab at the Yale School of Public Health showed visible clusters of human bloodshed in Al Fashir, a city in the western Darfur region of Sudan. These clusters were consistent with the RSF's recent door-to-door mass killings and were visible in resident neighborhoods, a hospital, the outskirts of the city, and on Sudanese military bases, according to the ABC News. The UN's International Organization for Migration has called for a ceasefire and a humanitarian corridor to get aid to civilians trapped in El Fashir. The city has been besieged for 18 months and has been called the, quote, epicenter of suffering by the UN. This is a developing story with details subject to change after recording. With GWTV, I'm Grace Ryu.
Thanks, Grace. After the break, more headlines, holiday plans in D.C., and how to have a stress-free final season with our lifestyle correspondents. Stay tuned.
morning, GW. I'm Andrew Rooney, here to bring you the latest updates about DC's weather. Right now, a cold front is moving in across the entire Northeast, bringing with it chilly air and the chance for snow. That's right, DC saw its first bit of snow earlier this year, as forecasts predicted up to an inch on Friday. It's rare to see a measurable snowfall this early, as according to the National Weather Service, heavy snow usually begins in January. In fact, the National Weather Service has issued a hazardous conditions warning, stating, quote, many roads could quickly turn icy. This could lead to dangerous traveling conditions, multiple accidents, and extensive delays, end quote. Fans of a white Christmas will certainly be celebrating, but if you're not the type to enjoy winter, be sure to throw on a jacket, as predictions say that wind chills could reach up to as low as 18 degrees at night. As for our upcoming forecast, consistently cloudy skies are expected throughout the next week. Over the weekend, temperatures will rise to a high of 43 on Saturday and 45 on Sunday, and then immediately drop as soon as Monday hits. Monday is expected to have a high of 35 and a low of 19, while Tuesday will have a high of 36 and a low of 30. And that's all I have for you today. Make sure to stay warm and bundle up. Back to you, Avanti and Brady.
Are you excited about the snow?
I am not. This
No?
is insufferable. I do not like winter. Winter is not my thing. I don't like snow. I don't like walking the snow.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I love the snow. I woke up to the greatest surprise this morning. I was making breakfast and I look out the window and I see all of these flurries and I was like, wow, we're in for a good winter. I know Andrew said to throw on a jacket. Did you secure your winter coat? We talked about that last time.
Not yet. I have not gotten a coat yet, but this 18 degrees low at night is news to me, new news to me that it gets that cold. So looks like I'll be getting a jacket today.
Yeah.
Gotta get on that ASAP.
Well, thanks, Andrew. On November 17th, a pipe burst at 22nd and H Street in front of Phillips Hall, flooding the street with water. The pipe break caused a water outage for those living in District House, forcing residents to have to rely on nearby buildings for their basic needs, such as showering. Many students reported that they had to use the University Student Center and Learner Gym as their temporary source of water. The water outage went through the night until 3 a.m. on Tuesday, November 18th, when an email was sent out that water had been restored.
Israel has announced that it's opening the border to Rafah to allow Palestinians to leave Gaza and enter Egypt. As part of their cooperation in Trump's 20-point Gaza peace plan, approximately 16,500 Palestinians are seriously ill or injured and are awaiting evacuation. Egypt has denied cooperating with Israel with the border opening.
A new MFA financial deal for GW Medicine is in the works. Grace Eagleton has the story.
A not-for-profit physician practice group is in the works with negotiations between GW, the GW Medical Faculty Associates, and the United Health Services. On October 3rd, officials at GW released that an initial financial agreement was reached, including the United Health Services, who own and operate the GW University Hospital, in co-funding the Medical Faculty Associates until the negotiations are finalized. GW has suffered from financial challenges this past fiscal year, with Provost Christopher Allen Bracey releasing a statement earlier this year in April, saying, quote, our university's expenses have grown at a faster rate than revenues, creating a significant and unsustainable gap that compounds each year, unquote. Later in that statement, the provost declared that the Medical Faculty Associates have contributed to the financial challenges, but they are, quote, actively working to address these challenges, unquote. As for now, GW officials have confirmed that preliminary physician staffing is being discussed with leaders from the Medical Faculty Associates and the School of Medicine and Health Sciences. If all negotiations go well, the United Health Services is said to employ MFA professionals that serve the GW Hospital and the Cedar Hill Regional Medical Center, GW Health Center. For GWN, I'm Grace Eagleton.
Thanks, Grace. Next up, our lifestyle correspondents Vivian and Matt are here to talk about holiday activities here in DC. Take it away, Vivian.
Hi, I'm Vivian.
I'm Matt.
And welcome to your last lifestyle segment of the year. We're excited to explore everything holidays to do here in DC with y'all.
Now, we're going to start things off with something close to home. DuPont Circle has its annual holiday market. Swing by just north of campus to explore the various stalls selling trinkets, gifts, and food.
My ghost of Christmas present is telling me to check out A Christmas Carol at Ford's Theater. It's just down the road and runs until December 31st.
And now, even though the lighting has already passed, it wouldn't be winter in DC without the White House Christmas tree in the Ellipse. Make sure to take the trip down once the sun is set for a huge decorated tree.
And light up your evening with zoo lights at the National Zoo. It starts nightly at 5 p.m. and runs until January 2nd.
Now, I know that everybody here is in the middle of final season, and trust me, I'm stressed out too.
We want to give you some stress-free finals tips to finish this year strong.
So, first off, as obvious as it is, make sure to get some sleep. Now, cramming late the night before is only going to make you more tired come exam time, and trust me, you don't want that.
And make sure to book a study room early. They fill up quickly and Gelman is really slammed this time of year.
And also, please make sure to eat. I know it seems obvious and it's super easy, but it's also super easy to get lost in studying away, and before you know it, all the dining halls are closed, and because you blew all your dining dollars earlier in the semester, you can't get any food.
Yes, and that is very relatable. But also it's important to go outside. Even a quick lap around Kogan may be the reset you need to lock in. And that's all for us this semester.
We're gonna miss Vivian so much, and we know that everybody here is wishing her the very best in Madrid. It's been a great time, and everybody have a wonderful winter break. But guys, that's that. I don't know.
Recommendations. I've never been to the Smithsonian Zoo Lights yet. That's what it is, right? So the
You should
Smithsonian
go.
goes-
Yeah, Andrew was talking about going too.
Yeah, it's #1 on my bucket list this year.
It looks phenomenal. Like, I've only been in the day to see the pandas, which, like, love the pandas, by the way. Like, shout out. But like the zoo lights, we saw them setting up, and it looks like it's going to be a really good display this year.
Yeah, it looks like I'm going to need to take some study breaks and do some fun
Study
things
breaks with your new coat that you're going to go get.
Yes.
That you are
Go
getting.
outside with your new puffer. Yes.
Yes, the new puffer. Well, thank you, Vivian and Matt. Midnight Breakfast is an annual GW tradition to bring students together to de-stress before finals, and it is continuing on December 8th at 9:30 p.m. in the University Student Center. This year, the event promises to include late-night snacks, 5 floors of games, and official GW merch giveaways. In collaboration with the GW Program Board, Midnight Breakfast also includes and gives students the opportunity to build their own plush pal study buddy on a first-come, first-served basis. The event promises to be a great way to reconnect with friends, take a break from studying, and participate in a variety of games and activities.
The Christmas spirit is hard to miss around DC, with several holiday markets, festive light displays, and seasonal events all throughout the district. This year's National Christmas Tree Lighting took place Thursday night, with crowds gathering and families enjoying the lights and entertainment. Through December and into January, DC is hosting a range of holiday-themed events such as the Holiday Boat Parade and Party at the Wharf this Saturday, as well as the Downtown DC Holiday Market, Zoo Lights at the National Zoo, and Winter Wonderfest at Nationals Park. And that's all we have for you this episode. For GWN, I'm Avanti Patworthan.
And I'm Brady Wilson. Thank you all for watching. Good luck with your finals and have a fantastic winter break.